Unit 9, Period 9, Section 4 is the presidency of George W. Bush. George W. Bush was elected in the year 2000, and his presidency lasted until 2008. His presidency is kicked off uh, in a controversy because of a disputed vote count in the state of Florida. In the state of Florida, um, at the end of the night of the election, there were two counties in Florida whose votes were disputed because of technical problems with the voting booths there. The ballots had been marked incorrectly by a machine that uh, cuts out the vote. Well, the blades that were used to cut out the votes had dulled, and on many of the ballots, there were what was called hanging chads, meaning that it looked like both George W. Bush and the Democratic challenger Al Gore's ballots had both been marked. And so the Secretary of State along of Florida, along with the United States Supreme Court, ordered that those two counties go back in and recount the votes. After recounting the votes in those two counties, it was determined that George W. Bush had won those two counties, so therefore he won the popular vote in Florida. So therefore he got the 25 electoral votes in the state of Florida, and that gave him the 270 he needed to become president of the United States. Well, what I want you to notice from this chart here is that the Democratic challenger Al Gore actually got more popular votes than George W. Bush, but popular votes do not win the presidency. The Electoral College does. And so the Democrat Al Gore, shown here, wound up losing the presidency. This is what the ballot looked like in the state of Florida, and you can see how confusing it is, but also you can see here where the machines were supposed to punch the ballots, and they did not do an effective job of that. This is showing a campaign worker checking one of the ballots to see and try to determine who the voter meant to vote for. Remember, on voting ballots, people do not put their names. This concludes the presidency of George W. Bush and the disputed presidential election of 2000.